Hi there. In this video we will be comparing this old Microsoft 800 keyboard and mouse set with a new Microsoft 850 keyboard and mouse set. You might be wondering, why am I comparing these two things? Well, this is 8 years old, if not a little bit more, and the keyboard at least is still working perfectly, although the daughters spilled anything under the sun and everything under the sun on it. Still working. It has cute little drain holes in here, so what goes in also comes out. Batteries last on this, I couldn't really tell you how long, because I honestly forget when I change them. They last so much that it's impossible to remember. The only things that are somewhat damaged, this little feet right here, or foot, somehow got a little bit cracked, but it's like this almost from when I got it. And apart from that, this was dropped on the ground, the batteries flew out of it. It was bashed on, it was stepped on. It's anything that the little daughters, 4 and 2 years old, could do to it, it has survived. You can see it's scratched. It has a LED right here that it's actually telling you when you need to replace the battery. I don't remember when I saw that LED the last time. Just use good brand batteries or accumulators, but batteries have a higher voltage, so it takes a little bit longer to drop under the minimum. Yeah, we are not going to go cheap, but I actually have accumulators in it, so nah, go figure. I even forgot what I have in this thing. So it seems that even with accus this thing is flying. And yes, it has all the simple multimedia buttons that I need right here. It has the F keys. It's a full-size keyboard from what I know. It is shiny, so you will have fingerprints, but as you can see, this one is crusty as hell. I feel like I need to wash it with a pressure washer, but some other day. Or remove all the keys and somehow wash them and put them back. For the mouse part of it, I'm telling you why I wanted to buy something identical to what I already had. Mouse part of it, yes, the little feet wanted to fly out in time, so I glued them back in place. What else? This wheel stopped spinning at the moment. It was just sliding and not doing anything. I have a video where I opened it up and glued it in place. It was basically the rubber just spinning and the rest of it, of the mechanism, was sleeping. So the rubber was freely spinning and not engaging anything else. And now, why I'm not using this particular mouse anymore, the click part from the wheel isn't working anymore. I would need to actually probably change the switch, but I don't think I'm going to bother. As a simple mouse without clicking on this, you could still use it without any issues. Here it tells you with a LED when you don't have any more battery in it. This little guy, it's quite big. You can see it compared to my thumbnail. But yeah, it works for both of them. So when you have this on, both of them connect to it. And it also works in computer BIOSes, for example. Some don't need drivers to work. This works. But for the moment it's basically used for the keyboard because the mouse isn't working anymore. Keyboard has 2 batteries, mouse only has 1 battery, but what type is it? I don't really remember. AA, so it's a bigger battery than what we have in the keyboard. In the keyboard we have triple A cells, cannot really talk. Obviously it's an optical mouse and not a laser one. It's the one with the red light. On-off button. I wasn't really using that button almost at all. And yes, weirdly enough, Microsoft Wireless Mouse 1000. The keyboard is 800 and they come together. or at least they came together back in the day. For another mouse, I'm using this, also from Microsoft. So I'm using basically, let's put this aside, something like this. Now this is a bit smaller mouse because it's the mobile version of that one. I think it also says mobile in here. Yep, mobile. And in time the same thing happened. The click on the middle button isn't working that well, but it's still working enough that I can use it. So this is still being used, and again a big battery right here, AA. And this has a smaller, I don't know, how is this called? Dongle. Yes, a smaller dongle, but I need to use both dongles now, one for the keyboard, one for the mouse. Anyway, there's that with the old. Let's see what's up with the new. Did I get basically the same thing or didn't I get? I hope I did, because this will still be used in the living room where daughters will spill everything under the moon and sun on it, and this will be used for my home office only by myself. And from what I'm seeing here, it's absolutely and identically the same thing, and it's exactly what I wanted. How could I show it better? It's the same thing, 100% the same thing, which is awesome. And I hope they managed to have wireless keyboard A150 to have the same longevity on the new product as they have on the old one. If you want to see both labels, it will be a bit tricky to read, but hey, here they are. Yep, 100% the same. So they had a good product, just continue to sell it. Maybe they did some firmware updates or something, so they changed it from A100 to 850, or maybe just they needed a new name for it, to feel like, for people to feel like an upgrade has been done, although basically, presumably, not much has changed. Let's see the mouse itself. Yeah, kind of hard, apart from the a bit yellowish wheel in here, to tell which is the new one. So they are identical. Yep, identical mouse, absolutely identical mouse. Oh, 2014, and this was last year. So, yep, let me see. For the battery itself, still a AA in here. Okay, we'll be plugging that in, and I will also be using the mouse for my home office. It's a good enough mouse, big enough in the hand for what I need. I'm not into those fancy mice or mouses or whatever that some like for CAD work. I'm able to do it with a simple mouse. In here, it seems to have Duracell batteries from what I can see, and another dongle, and it's the same type of dongle that we have for the kit before. So basically, in about 8 years, they didn't change. Let me put a pause. Actually, no, I can open it without a pause. They didn't change a thing, or almost a thing, and that's a good thing in my opinion, because they realized they have a good working product on their hands, and there is no point in changing something that works perfectly. Will I be using... Oh, so these are not for sale, so they are Duracell OEMs. Nice. I'm going to check to see if I have accus, and I might be using accumulators instead of these batteries, and I might be using this in a watch on the wall or something where, oopsie once again for the noise, where accumulators don't work. There are devices that don't really like 1.2 volts that accus give, so they prefer batteries, and I have a few of those around the house. I'm not going to show you any tips and tricks with this. It's a simple mouse and keyboard setup, tripod will squeak. That has lasted me a lot of years, and it has lasted enough that I want to basically buy it again. And this should be the same thing with all products, to be good enough that you want to buy that product once again. Okay. Warranty papers, I'm not going to go into details with this, just I always show the manual, the warranty, the whatnot, just in case somebody needs it. And that's about it. Here we have other languages. Product guide, I'm going to show you that in a moment. Disposal of batteries if you need it, presumably other languages as always. And a quick product guide. Let's go to page 2. Feel free to pause at any time. If I could stop moving so you can pause it. It's honestly, in my opinion, this thing is as basic and as plug and play as it gets. Not going through batteries like crazy. Lasting a bunch. I kind of need to put the second mouse in there because I'm also using that now. So that's about it. Nothing more, nothing less. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. It's comfortable to type on. Let's see. Yeah, my space button makes more noise. I don't think it's a design change, although it could be. I'm not sure. My old keyboard seems to be making more noise. Not a lot more noise, and mostly on the bigger keys. Yeah, mostly on bigger keys my keyboard is making more noise. But it was used for 8 years, so yeah. Anyway, that's about it. If you want something reliable, this is it. About the click, the middle click on the wheel that gets damaged over time, I cannot tell you if it's me, because I really managed to damage another one. Although I never did damage one from work, a Dell or an HP that I had from work. So it could be a little bit of a design problem with this Microsoft mice. But if you don't use that extremely often, you might never reach into that problem. Or you might, like I did, and you need to find a fix for it. So there's that, your decision. But for me, would I recommend this? Yes, I would. I bought a second one, which is basically exactly like the first one, but just instead of 800, it's 850, and the mouse is actually 1000 for both of them. So yeah. Remembered 2 more things that I want to tell you. About the wrench, I literally never had issues with this or the mouse itself. If I could see the screen, this would work. That simple. But there's a little bit of a design problem with the mouse itself. It's kind of hard and annoying to insert the battery in here, especially accumulators, because they seem to be just a fraction, I don't know, bigger than batteries. So you kind of need to jam it in there. But yeah, once it's in, it works, and you pull on this to get it out. So never had one that was stuck in there, but again, you kind of need to jam it. And weirdly enough, they left this in on position by default. So this powered on directly when I insert it in there. There's that. Let's put these 2 in the keyboard and we are good to go. Something else that I remembered, when my daughters were really young, basically one of them just a few months and the other one only 2 years, I really wished that the keyboard would also have a switch for on-off, so they couldn't just type on it by smashing the buttons. I wanted to put a button myself, but then they grew up and they don't care about this keyboard anymore, so yeah, there's that. But yeah, this does not have on-off button. You have batteries in, this thing is on. So let's get back to the rest of the video. While the mouse is happy with the accumulator that I put in, it seems the ones that I put in the keyboard are discharged, so I need to charge them. Quite simple fix. Again, let's get back to the rest of the video. Just one more thing that I remembered. There's no pleasure on writing on this keyboard. It's mushy, it doesn't give any nice feedback when you press it. So it lasts a lot, it's cheap, it's wireless, it's a full keyboard, it has multimedia buttons, and yeah, that's about it. But if you are going for a nice feel when typing, oh, this is not for you at all. Just wanted to add this. Anyway, again, that's it for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. And as always, see you in the next one. Bye.